Hello and welcome to Investors Hangout. This weekly interaction to help you learn and understand savings and investment issues is brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund and Value Research. Wish you all a very happy Women's Day. Before we begin today's episode, we have a special video lined up for you and Dhirendra, and we would like you to watch that first and then go on to listening to the questions that we asked Dhirendra.
Sure.
So Dhirendra, let's watch this. Inspired by a video on YouTube, we decided to do something similar here at Value Research, and for that we invited some of our own colleagues to be a part of this experiment.
I am going to ask you some very simple questions. If your answer is yes, please take a step forward. If it's a no, take a step back. Did you learn music in school? Are you in touch with your school friends? Have you ever taken martial art lessons? Can you cook a meal? Not Maggie, but a proper meal. In school, did you iron your clothes on your own? Did you ever train for a specific sport? Were you a part of your college governing council? Do you make all household bill payments yourself? Do you invest?
I actually thought there would be difference between men and women.
Can you explain what mutual funds are? Do you know the price of gold today? Do you make your own investments? Do you file your return?
I think women are being empowered today. They are literate, they take responsibilities of their own finances as good as men.
Do you help your family members to take financial decisions? Have you bought insurance policies unassisted? Did you buy a vehicle of your own, on your own, right from research to paperwork, etc.?
I feel that gap is being filled in.
Do you watch the budget speech? Do you know the exact breakup of your salary? Do you know the difference between a mutual fund and an SIP?
Yeah, I was happy because usually what we see is that there is usually a huge gap wherever we go between men and women when it comes to these questions. But here, looking that all of them are in the same line, all of them are in the same way, that made me happy.
We are empowered people because we are from the new generation.
I think that being part of Value Research is one of the reasons that I am able to have, the knowledge and the empowerment and the confidence to take financial decisions.
So Dhirendra, you watched this video. You know, the original video that inspired us to shoot this in our office, by the time the questions ended, there was a huge gender gap. And it started with the finance-related queries. The women were far behind their male counterparts. But we were, very happy to see the results here in Value Research. There was no gender gap as such. But the fact also is that these were Value Research employees. And outside this office, we're not sure if the results would be same or similar. So on this Women's Day, why don't you give a checklist to women investors, to women who are not investors yet, to start investing and become financially empowered?
One is that, of course, they are value research people. So I expect them because, to make a living while working at Value Research, their job is to actually understand savings and investments. So it's understandable that they will be, more informed, aware, and, they will be more enriched investor. But more importantly, I think, that should be the case for most women because they are naturally, better configured to save, for savings. Second is that they have superior patience and they end up doing multitasking. I think these are essential attributes to be a good investor or a saver. So they should save early as soon as possible. It's not a tip, they know it. Get started as early as possible because getting started has become easy. If you have an app, if you have a phone, if you have a smartphone, which most people have, and if you have online bank account access, you are good to go, and Aadhaar card and PAN number. So these 4 things is all that you need. And of course, being at Value Research, but anybody visiting Value Research can also figure out the best fund to start your investments. So start now, if not yesterday, and never tomorrow. Investing is a very difficult thing. You have to postpone today's spending to invest. So, you never get that opportunity. Then comes, framing 2 rules for yourself. Short-term money, long-term money. Long-term money should be in equity and never invest lump sum. Do your SIP. Short-term money, never invest in equity, and you can make lump sum and invest in a debt fund or keep it in your bank account. That's it. That is all that you need. And if you have dependents meaning your spouse or your children or parents, buy an insurance so that you will, if you are not around, your financial contribution can be replaced by the insurance premium, and that is a term plan. That is a term insurance. That is all that you need. And if you keep doing, and don't get impatient, don't get perturbed by the madness of the market. So it is easy. It is really very easy, and it has become easier, and women should succeed more simply because they have superior attributes, superior credentials, superior, they're more patient, they have, they are multitasker, and they are better savers.
But, data still shows that a lot of women trust fixed investment avenues than investing in equity. So do you have a word of advice for them?
One is that, if you follow the rules which I have set out for you, which is long-term money, invest in equity, and short-term money, never invest in equity. And if you do this wrong, if you get this wrong, if you put your short-term money, then you will be faced in you will be faced with a situation where you will never be able to invest in equity. So first is to frame your rules, understand your compulsions, understand your constraints, and then act. And I don't think these simple rules are negotiable. If you try and negotiate it, if you curtail it in some manner, things will go haywire. Things will not work out for you.
And a lot of women still invest in gold. What's your take on that?
My take on that is that, think of gold as Sridhan, because in India, culturally, we have a mechanism of, transfer of wealth from in a family. Women get only the gold or only what they get at their wedding. That may not be true anymore, but, that is the historic context of that. That is why it has been happening. So one is that think of gold as consumption. You are unlikely to be selling your gold, even in emergency. That will be the last resort in an emergency. So I would say that most people should do without gold and look at gold as a consumption. You will demonstrate it, you will enjoy it, you will relish it, you will show it off. And in a very long period of time, it will barely, beat inflation. Of late, it has done a little better. But that doesn't mean that, the jewelry that you buy has done better, because the transaction cost of jewelry, you should look at the making charge. If you buy something worth a lakh of rupees, if you have to melt it and give it back, it will be worth 80,000 rupees or 85,000 rupees. That itself is a huge transaction cost, and that actually makes it unworthy of investment. I would like to add one more point which women can actually execute better because of their patience and because of their objectivity. One is that I was suggesting that invest your long-term money in equity and do your SIP. When you are likely to need your long-term money, assuming that you have been investing for your child's education 15 years away. So when your child is about to get into the college, a year or two before he gets into the college, start preparing with your withdrawal. Right. Don't wait for the last time. So be methodical about it, have patience, and implement it meticulously, and that itself will do the magic.
So what's interesting about this is there's nothing gender specific about this. These are all gender neutral rules, and you can do it as well as any man can. So start as early as you can, know your risk tolerance based on your time horizon, and you're good to go. That's all we have for you. Well, that's how we usually close an episode, but not today. This is a special episode, and we want to make it more special by leaving you with some inspirational stories that will hopefully inspire you to empower yourself financially. So keep watching.
When it comes to financial decisions, I prefer to make my own decisions. That means doing the research, figuring out what kind of investment tools insurance or even the kind of EMI that works for me and my goals, and therefore I take those decisions, and that is something very important for me.
मुझे 16 साल हो गए इन्वेस्ट करते हुए। मैंने 500 रुपये से इन्वेस्ट शुरू किया था और जैसे जैसे मेरी सैलरी बढ़ी वैसे वैसे हमने उसे बढ़ाया।
मुझे लगभग 14-15 साल हो गए हैं इसे इन्वेस्ट करते हुए।
I've got 2 boys and both of them were in their late teens when I became a single parent. So initially there was a deficit financing that had to be taken care of.
पहले तो ये था कि घर हमारा होना चाहिए था जो हमारे पास नहीं था, पर काफ़ी सबके सपोर्ट से और उन पैसों की उसकी वजह से था कि अब हमारा अपना घर है हमारे पास।
I have been working in the University of Delhi throughout my life after my post graduation.
पहले शुरुआत में मुझे बिल्कुल भी नहीं लगता था कि मैं इतने पैसों का मतलब मैं कर सकती हूँ। जब मैंने बहुत कम से शुरू किया था तो मैंने सोचा था कि इतने छोटे पैसे से मेरी क्या मतलब मैं क्या कर लूँगी आगे या क्या मेरी मदद होगी आगे जाके, तो मुझे उस टाइम इतना नहीं पता था। तो फिर मैं धीरे धीरे करती गई, तो जब वो धीरे धीरे जब बढ़ना शुरू हुआ 3 साल 2 साल के बाद जब मुझे वो पैसा दिखने लगा बढ़ा, तब मुझे पता चला कि नहीं, मेरी इतनी सी चीज़ से शुरुआत से मेरा पैसा इतना बढ़ा है, तो आगे जब मैं इसको और कंटिन्यू करूँगी तो वो और आगे और कितना बढ़ सकता है। तो उस चीज़ को सोच के मुझे कभी बहुत खुशी मिलती है और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है और मुझे अपने ऊपर बहुत फिर प्राउड भी फील होता है कि मेरी खुद की मेहनत के पैसे हैं ये। तो मैं बहुत खुश हूँ उस चीज़ से।
हम जैसे जितने लोग हैं वो सबको करना चाहिए। छोटी छोटी रकम आज इतनी बड़ी बन गई है तो सभी को करना चाहिए।
और मैं चाहूँगी कि लोग अगर मेरी बात सुन रहे हैं तो वो भी अपने लिए करें कुछ, खास करके लड़कियाँ।
Throughout my life, when it came to contributing towards family, I was always an equal partner in all the decisions taken till now.
मैंने अपने बच्चों को भी पैरों पे खड़ा किया, अपनी बेटी को खास करके, तो उस चीज़ के लिए मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है और ख़ुद को भी मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है। जब से पता चला कि मुझे मेरी रकम इतनी बड़ी हो गई है तो मैं भी खुद पे काफ़ी भरोसा रहता है मुझे खुद पे।
No matter how hard it has been, I've been continuing with my systematic investment plan monthly basis. That is something I do not compromise on, and that's been my backbone for my financial strength survival strategy so far.
तो अब हमें किसी और चीज़ के लिए सोचने की, किसी से मांगने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती। एक खुद के ऊपर एक हिम्मत है कि आगे जाके हम इस पैसों का मैं अच्छे से इसको यूज़ कर सकती हूँ अपने परिवार के लिए प्लस अपने लिए। वो मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है।